morning, everyone. Thank you for hanging in there with us. We had some technical difficulties, but we are here live right now. We hope you can still join us. We are so excited to have you with us today. My name is Heather A. Kolar. I am the founder and managing partner of the Heather A. Kolar Agency. And most of you know the wonderful Audrey Glover Dichter. She is the managing partner of Glover Dichter PL, and she is here today to talk to us about AI, artificial intelligence, the hottest topic on the planet right now. And we know that everyone here has heard of it at least. Audrey, tell us what is going on with AI and why you're here to talk to us about governance, AI
Thank you.
governance.
Thank you, Heather. And good morning, everybody. Sorry we're a little late, but better late than never. So, thank you for joining us today. I'm hoping to help out by doing a little education today on AI governance. So, the whole point of AI governance is important because it's like privacy all over again. You need to understand how you're using AI and what the AI is doing in your business. For example, if you're collecting information, what are you collecting? And whether or not it's sharing it with anybody, you may be surprised how many times the system may be set up to be selling that information without consent. And I know I'm using a lot of terminology from privacy, but actually they go hand in hand nowadays. So the most important thing about the AI governance is that it's going to force businesses to understand a lot better
Mhm.
what AI they're using, why are they using it, how are they using it, and how it's affecting their business and everything else in their business, and how it affects their customers or their clients.
It's a
So just
trickling effect. It's a trickling
exactly.
effect. It's just so massive. So why don't we take a step back, because even though everyone has heard of AI,
Mhm.
artificial intelligence, a lot of people don't really have a clear understanding of what it is. I think there's a lot of confusion. So Audrey, can you help us clarify what artificial intelligence actually is?
Sure. So we pretty much everybody's using AI nowadays for different purposes, right?
Mhm.
So there's AI that is creative. So it creates it, you can put in prompts and it creates something for you. But then there's AIs that are processes AIs. And for example, I use an AI program to help me with my LinkedIn messaging and all that, right? But it's very limited to what I'm using it for. So you need to understand what are you using it for, and there's different ways of using it. So a lot of businesses use it to collect a lot of information. For example, in the HR world, and this is really not new, but they're using some AI system to go through resumes. The point is you need to understand the AI system to understand whether or not are there any biases that might have been built into the system that you as the business owner are completely unaware of.
Right?
But
Because and that happens because AI is actually based off of actual human behavior, human actions, right? So however the aggregate has collected this real information based on what people did, whether they created something, whether they made decisions a particular way, that's what AI is based off of. And we know that some people have biases, right? So it
right.
kind of could be built in there. Hmm.
But also, I mean, think about it. It's AI is as good as the human
There you
teaching and the materials that the AI is being exposed to. So the big problem with that is number one, when you are asking it to create something, it's not really creating something potentially. It could potentially be infringing on somebody's protected copyright or trademark information or others website, or it's just basically AI is not a replacement for a human brain. Okay.
And it's that
So
infringement that actually prompted this talk, which made you so passionate
Yeah.
to kind of share this information because the first federal infringement case just came about, right? The FTC one. Can you tell people about that?
Sure. Well, a couple of things. Last year, we had an explosion of infringement cases throughout the country because AI businesses are training AI on protected materials without any licensing. So again, AI was creating, and it was just basically regurgitating copyrighted material. And then the case, yes, I'm excited about this case because it is the first of its kind, as far as I know, that the FTC, the Federal Trade Commission, on in December, it was made public how when they sued a business for using AI without any AI governance, no parameters, no knowledge of the biases instilled into the system itself. So unfortunately, this particular business, and no, don't ask me who it was because I'm not going to answer I'm
No.
not going to give you the name. That's not the point of this. The point is this business was using AI without understanding how it was being used because it was trained with biases built in. So unfortunately, the way it was used, it was, a free for all. And unfortunately, there weren't any rules or guidance as to how to use it and understanding of the biases. So it caused a lot of issues, legal issues. So the FTC sued this business for not having any AI governance, basically, um, and having had a lot of privacy issues because AI does back into everything else into your business. So depending on how it's working, what it's doing, and how it works with everything else and in your business, it could potentially affect everything else in your business and your
Absolutely.
customers.
And your customers, it's a trickling effect, right? And so, like anything else that has tremendous value, it's new. We run to it, we try to figure it out, but it's really the wild, the wild, wild west, which we
Yeah.
know there's a lot of deaths, right? Air quotes that happen in the wild, wild west at all. It's very dangerous for folks, and that danger seems to be approaching with this, with the beginning of cases coming across against people. And then you had also mentioned, Audrey, what the EU is doing. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. So the European Union, the EU, has an AI Act, and they're working on getting it live. It's not live yet. It has not taken effect, but it's coming.
It's coming.
And in the U.S. side, we have President Biden's executive order, which he signed last year on Halloween. And that's coming because the agencies have been quite busy promulgating, writing regulations, which are coming soon as well.
Hmm.
So between the FTC enforcement, so here's the one thing I want to clarify. A
Hmm.
lot of people think that we don't have rules in the books.
Hmm.
Let me
Hmm.
tell you, we have plenty of laws and rules to um, as this case from the Federal Trade Commission shows, in the books in order to go after businesses like the FTC does for violations of AI, right? Because
Hmm.
this particular business had AI violations as it affected privacy, people's privacies. So we have plenty of reasons and ways of enforcing current laws for AI violations. Same thing for advertising, right? So under the
Hmm.
FTC Act, I mean, we have plenty of laws. So if you think that we don't, because we don't have an AI Act, mm, yeah.
We're wrong. Right. 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 Right.
The point of the AI Act, which I like, is that it clarifies, it makes it clear what's prohibited AI, what's high risk AI. It defines all these
Hmm.
parameters
Hmm.
for everybody. And the thing about the AI Act from the EU It's
Mhm.
extraterritorial, so it applies to us as well, just like GDPR all over again. Okay.
Mhm.
So just like GDPR applies to us when we do privacy, and we all need to have a privacy policy, we need an AI governance policy so
Mhm.
that we understand as business owners how we're using it, what's it doing, how does it work with everything else, and very importantly, how it affects our clients and our relationships with our customers, and make sure that that information that it's collecting is not being shared without consent in the back end.
Absolutely. You're always so concerned about the end user, the customer's
Yes.
impact when it comes to these things. And so, when you talk about AI governance and having an AI governance policy, you've mentioned it so many times. It's like having a a privacy policy, having your terms of use. It's going to take us business owners, especially, I like to think marketing professionals, because a lot of it has directly affects how we create things, right? And
Mhm.
using AI specifically like that in my situation, but we need to understand it, right? So we can all, I think, see the benefit of it, but we need to do the due diligence in understanding what platforms we're plugging into, how we're using AI, and making sure that we're not only protecting ourselves, but we're protecting our customers. And I think it's you do both when you, especially when you think of your customers. If you make sure you protect your customers, you're going to be protecting yourselves. So AI, having an AI governance policy seems like it's probably not mandatory just yet, but it's going to be coming, and it's something that I believe is definitely
Well,
necessary at this time.
well, let's put it this way. Just
Mhm.
like a privacy policy is required, and the terms and conditions are required, and those are legally binding contracts between your business and your end user, so is
Mhm.
the AI governance.
Mhm.
And all those policies are there to protect your business, to protect you, and to protect
Mhm.
your family, right? So
Yes.
the bottom line is be transparent about the AI and what's it doing. And you just need to do your due diligence,
You have to do the due
understand
diligence.
how it works in the back end. For example, there are AI platforms that without consent we're sharing geolocation. Well, that's a huge no-no, and the FTC is in the process of dealing with that problem,
Right.
because if you do not give, if people are opting in or opting out, whichever one it may be, you are required to make sure that that information is not being shared with third parties or sold to third parties, especially with something as crucial as a geolocation where this person may be. It doesn't matter if people are
And
up.
that's what we do, who we do it with, where we do it, when we do it, right? I mean, that is
And
that is complete infringement.
yeah, it's AI is basically having, there's a lot of violations of AI on how it's being used, and so just be careful is the bottom
Be
line. But
careful.
the AI governance forces you to understand it better than just throwing it in there and not, and having a blind eye.
Because you
Don't.
know what, Audrey? We spend so much time and we put everything into growing our businesses so we can take care of ourselves, so we can take care of our family, so we can, have this sense of self fulfillment and self actualization and help others and all these wonderful things. And, when I think of, especially after speaking with you and understanding it better, when I think of AI and AI governance, something in me believes that it can, like violations, I believe, can just come with much more vengeance with people, because now we are using other people's creation, right?
Mm,
And so if you put your blood, sweat, and tears into creating something, whether it was a tangible, digital asset or process, all of these different things, and you're not being credited with it, and you're not benefiting from it because there's no AI governance, and there's an aspect of the wild wild west out there. I'd be pretty upset, and I'd want to you know I'd want to benefit from how you're using what I created. And so that's just my personal take on it.
Yeah.
But I could
Yeah.
just see it, when it comes to, and there's actually all these processes and things. We just need to be very careful
So here's what
about
I
how we
tell my
use AI.
students. So here's
Hmm.
what I tell my students. Just because it's on the internet, it doesn't give you the right to use it.
Right. There you go.
Period. You need to know whether or not it's protected. And when you have an AI give you a creation, create something for you, it is your duty to make sure it's not just regurgitating protected work, right? So
Exactly.
that infringes copyright and trademarks and
Because we can get so excited, like, oh my goodness, I have the edge, right? I have access to all of the world right now
not
and all of its
really.
creation. That's a
You need
weird thing, but
licensing.
you
You
need
can't just
licensing.
take
Yeah.
somebody's work without permission. You got to ask for permission and get that licensing.
Right.
So there's a
And
lot of
still do your due diligence to protect yourself and your
absolutely.
customers. So,
Yes.
yes. So, what should people know in your final words about AI governance policies? How can they get in contact with you? What can you ask them to do for the next steps, Audrey? What should we be
So
thinking about and doing?
So, like Heather said, AI governance, it may not be legally required yet, but it's coming. So,
Mhm.
stay compliant, ahead of the curve, and get an AI governance policy now and learn how to protect your business with that and the privacy policy and the terms of use and everything else that you need internally, cybersecurity and all that. So I put together AI governance top tips. I will share the link that is on my website, the link to my website on that page, so everybody can feel free and look at those. And feel free to reach out if you have any questions about AI governance and how it works with your business, and start putting those together because it's coming.
Mhm. And you do a great job, Audrey, of your audit process where you go in and you just look at a company's full website and everything that they have there to make sure that they are compliant in all of these areas. So that's something that I highly recommend businesses reach out to you for. It's very affordable, and the value that it delivers will give you the peace of mind of just knowing where you are and what you need to do, where you're covered, and what could really help you protect yourself and your
Well,
business. So,
it's less expensive to be legally compliant and stay compliant because plug it and
mhm,
forget it is long gone,
mhm.
and taking the risk and ending up on the wrong side of the risk.
Mhm. And just tell people real quickly what you mean when you say plug it and forget it, so they understand where their risk could be when
Well,
you talk about that.
that goes not just with websites, right? As the law changes, your privacy policy, your websites, your ADA compliance online, your terms and conditions, and now, yes, your AI governance, everything, your cybersecurity, as things change, as the technology develops, everything has to change with it and stay on top of it. So plug it and forget it doesn't exist anymore. Privacy policies need to change along with the new laws. New Jersey just passed a law. Florida's coming, taking effect this summer. So you need to stay on top of all these changes. And there's a simple, easy way to do that, but you can't just ignore it because
And you can't do
once
it just once.
yeah, you can't just do it once, then hence the plug it and forget it. It's a constant update of everything that needs to be updated.
There you go, folks. You heard it from one of the best in the space. We hope that we delivered some great value and clarity for you today. This is a hot topic. It's going to stay that way for a long time, and we just want to help you be on the right side of the road when it comes to using AI in your business and protecting yourself and your clients. So, thanks again. please send all your messages directly to Audrey Glover Dichter on LinkedIn. You also have her email there for your resources. Audrey, thank you so much. You give so much to our community. We really appreciate you. Have a great day, y'all.
Thank you.